Good evening. This is Jackie O, and this is Sounding Board. Sounding Board started many, many years ago. In fact, it started back when I was in high school as a column that I wrote for the school newspaper. I resurrected it when I was in college for college paper. And then the idea just kind of lay dormant for years. Life kind of got in the way. And then a few years ago, I resurrected it and put it out as a blog, uh, just as it says, sounding board, a series of rambling thoughts, and worked on that for a while. And then, going on 7 years now, I started feeling sick, and I went to see my doctor. Doctor gave me an exam and said, "It's your age. It's probably early menopause. Nothing to worry about. Perfectly normal." So I went home and thought, well, we'll just deal with this. About 4 months later, in fact, it was December of that year, shortly before Christmas, I was watching television one evening. My son was upstairs, and I got up to, get a glass of water or something, and suddenly felt this intense, intense pain. And then what I call the waterfall, blood, blood everywhere. And I yelled to my son, called 911. EMS arrived, bundled me up, whisked me away, lights and sirens going, a young man assuring me that everything was going to be fine, but warning me that I was going to be met with a flood of people when I got to the hospital, which was true. 8 hours later, and 6 units of blood later, doctor came in and she said, "Well, you made it. We're glad that you are with us." She says, "But," she says, "I found something that don't really like, and I've called in another doctor to come in and take a look at it." And she had called in a doctor from the UW hospital. And the following morning, he came in to see me, and he said, "The results of our testing on there is that you have stage 3 cancer, uterine cancer." And I thought, that can't be right. Um, you know, 4 months ago, I had a checkup and everything was fine. And he said, "Nope, that's what it is. And we have to discuss where we're going to go from here. Chemo, radiation, surgery, everything that they could do." And because it was December and shortly before Christmas, I said, well, I'm not going to do anything right now. It's not going to change anything. I need to give it some thought. And I went home and I pretended like everything was fine. I made one phone call, and that was to my ex-husband. Told him what was happening, and I said, I haven't told the kids yet. I wanted to wait until after the holidays, which I did. I waited until after the holidays to tell them what was happening. And then in January, I went in and had robotic surgery, had the total hysterectomy done. And then that was followed with on and off radiation and chemo for several months. Then I started having some other complications. Further test showed problems in other areas. I had to have spleen removed. Then we went into having part of the liver removed. We had some spinal surgeries done. And then I had everything is looking really good. Took some months off and gave me a chance to recuperate. As the doctor said, build up your strength for the fight. Went back again, had another surgery to remove another small tumor that was found. And the most recent was I have a tumor that is right back in the base of the skull here. And they're referring to it as a dormant tumor. It's not shedding any cells, it's not getting any bigger, it's just kind of sitting there. But it's sitting in a spot that causes some issues, pain. I tend to walk like a drunken sailor. I need to have a walker if I'm going to be doing any distant walking on that. So there are still some issues, but we're making it through it okay. But to get beyond that, talking to several people, and it's like, I'm still here. There's got to be a reason why, going on 7 years, I'm still here. And I thought, well, there are things that I need to finish. And part of the finish was, look at all the writing that you put aside on that, and you'd always wanted to be a writer. So let's go back and pick those up. So I had one started called, it had a working title, Darren, but that would not be the final title. And it was kind of based on my ancestors, the various stories I had heard, putting those together, but doing it because everything was just stories passed on. So fictionalizing it into a story. Started working on that again. And then I pulled out the fairy tale that I had started working on and really got working on that. In fact, just a couple of weeks ago, I was able to write the end, 250 some pages later. Got that and working on some illustrations for it and doing a little bit of editing here and there. Based on recent political things here in the U.S., I did a short story called The Piper. Part of it uploaded onto the sounding board. And then I started a science fiction time travel that I am in the midst of right now, playing with the time travel. And then going back to the family one, I decided to kind of split it into ancestors and then my story on that. So I've got all of these things kind of going in. And then with all of this going on, I am still working. I am an HR consultant, so kind of doing that. And then I teach, or rather I tutor English as a second language, primarily with students in South Korea. And I do that via Zoom or Team, scheduling late into my nights in order to accommodate my students. Anybody interested, leave something in the comments and I'll get back to you on that if you're looking for an ESL tutor. But anyway, I decided to resurrect my YouTube channel that in the past I'd just been posting little shorts, more to entertain myself than anything else. But I decided I wanted to use it as a format for just doing discussions. Now, much as the blog, where it says a series of rambling thoughts, that is what this channel is going to be. There will be times when it'll be just like this. I will simply be talking, rambling on about something. But there will be other times when I will have, serious topics, HR related things. I'm a boomer senior citizen. There will be times when I will talk about some of the things that senior citizens are confronted with. I may occasionally talk politics, although I really hate to get too involved in politics on that, but I may occasionally touch on certain subjects, issues, without going into, this party or that party on there. And then reviews. I'm not going to be a reaction channel, but what I would prefer to do is, if I read a book, watch a movie, watch a TV show, see drama, K-drama, listen to music videos or whatever, I'm going to listen to them first. And then I would come in and give my review. And I'm open to suggestions and things that you would like me to look at and to give a review on. So again, if you have any suggestions, please post those, and I will do my best to get back to as many of those as possible. But in the meantime, I'm just going to post this just to give you a little intro to me and what I'm going to be using Sounding Board for. It's a means for me to communicate, and it gives me kind of an outlet for my feelings rather than kind of bottling them up to put them out here. So, and with that, I'm going to wrap this up. I will put the link to the Sounding Board blog down in the description. So if anybody cares to take a look at that, they'll be able to find it. So with that, to all of my friends here in the U.S., wishing you a happy Thanksgiving. And to my friends around the world, peace. Good night.